Well, we asked you guys on Twitter who you thought was going to be eliminated tonight, and a lot of you were actually voting for the banana mask, but that is not what happened. The banana is here to stay, and we actually now officially have our Group A and Group B champions who will be moving on to the Super 9 finalists.
I can't believe we're getting so close.
We're getting so close. One more group to unmask here. We have Group C starting next week, but first we need to know right meow who this kitty is. Take a look.
All right, listen. I have been tearing my hair out, mulling over clues, mulling over research. We have said someone different every single week.
Us, the judges, and the internet.
Do you have any ideas?
I really don't know. I mean, this one, I'm really, really stumped, and I think every clue just gets more confusing. I can't really tell. And also the body type, you know, like it doesn't seem like, there's just something about the kitty that doesn't seem like it's some of the guesses. Like,
yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard a whole amalgam of names. I'm gonna throw out Nicole Richie tonight.
Yeah, but the body is like, because she's so, I mean, they just seem different. I'm not sure exactly what makes them different. I mean, they're both tiny.
Something is different.
They're both tiny, but I think there's something more, I don't know, she's more like a fairy sprite, and then the kitty is more, a little bit, you know, kind of more of a womanly, womanly shape,
yeah,
I think.
okay.
But that could be the costume.
Margaret Cho, body language
expert over here.
I want to get into the clue package. I'm going to make my case for Nicole Richie. So the first thing I want to call out is this green Rapunzel BFF. Of course, tonight we heard from all the contestants' friends or relatives or family members, and we met the kitty's BFF. So take a look at the hair. It's really long. That reminds me of Paris Hilton. Obviously, her hair is beautiful, long, and blonde. It is nothing like this green mess. But, you know, even the pink shirt, the usage of the word BFF, Paris Hilton had a show called, you know, Wanna Be My BFF. So that, I was like, okay, maybe we've got something going along there. I also want to call out the Fabergé egg. So I looked up if Nicole Richie is like a collector or something. Well, she's told Glamour UK in the past that she did start buying them when she was just 8 years old. She said she didn't know what they were, but she knew that her mom liked them. So she would go to this fancy store in LA called Geary's, and she would charge them on her dad's bill. And that was the end of her having an account there, because they're very expensive. Yes.
Well, I do know one thing is that when we were creating the clue packages when I was on, most of the impetus was on making sure that you were giving clues that were not anywhere Googleable.
Interesting.
So it's almost as if you find something online that is about that, it's likely that it's not the person that you're thinking. Because
too perfect, almost.
It's too perfect, and so whenever they were asking for clues, they would, you know, really explain, like, well, can you Google this and find this out? Of course, there could be things that fall through the cracks, and
yes, of course.
Nobody can know.
Well, there's only so many things that we can pinpoint to a certain celebrity, right? So the other last thing that I want to call out is we saw in the clue package the woods and a knife.
Yes.
And the best friend said whether she's writing poems or directing horror movies that we would star in, she's always had a flair for the dramatic. Now, Nicole Richie has not starred in any horror movies, but she has an interesting twist to Jordan Peele. So Jordan Peele put out the movie Us last year, and he actually revealed that the opening scene of the movie, which includes like a vintage 80s commercial, that commercial starred a very young Nicole Richie.
Oh,
so they have this very bizarre take on it, and even the fact directing horror movies, that directly means Jordan Peele, right?
It could.
Am I onto something?
That's interesting. I mean, I think that is actually a good lead. I mean, but when it comes to Nicole Richie,
You're not buying the body language.
Also, Nicole Richie is such a person, like a sort of a celebrity that now is sort of very dedicated to behind the scenes. Like she is like a mom, and she's like a designer, and so she's like.
Well, that was last week's clue package.
You
we
know?
saw the kitty sitting at the sewing machine, so we're like, oh, she has a line called House of Harlow. The last thing that I want to call out for Nicole Richie, and I'll let you take the lead on your guess, is can we throw up the two photos? We have a photo of the kitty costume, and we have the photo of Nicole Richie on her book cover. I'm sorry, Margaret, do you think these crowns look alike?
They do look alike. But like, what are the alternate colored eyes? That's got to be a clue too. Like, what does that mean?
But to your point earlier, I thought that was too obvious. Like looking up celebrities with two different color eyes.
So maybe like two different kinds of identities, like as a celebrity and as a mom, as a designer, as an actress.
So someone who's done multiple things.
But also, like, I've never thought of her as a musician, but I guess because of her her family, that's probably something that most people who can sing have family members who can sing.
Yes.
Sure.
So
well, I do want to let you know that a very young Deidre Behar in high school was a huge fan of Nicole Richie when she put out a song called Dandelion. It was never actually officially released, but it's still kind of floating around on the internet. Take a listen.
He's a dandelion, he looks like everything I need. I thought he was a flower, but I found out he's a weed.
So an OG Simple Life fan right
a real
here.
stan
so
over
great.
here.
That's great. Yeah.
So listen, we're grasping at straws here. We've said so many different names. I'm going with Nicole Richie this week. Who are you going
So
with?
I am going with the popular vote online for Jackie Evancho. So you might remember her from America's Got Talent. Very young, came out with a beautiful opera voice that did not sound like one from a child. Well, she has since grown up, obviously, and people are really pinpointing these clues to her. So we did see a chandelier this week in the clue package. The chandelier could allude to her choice to consistently sing Phantom of the Opera songs on America's Got Talent. She's also covered a lot of them on albums as well. A few weeks ago, we actually saw the Pirates in a clue package. Well, she started entering talent competitions between 2008 and 2010, and she sang the U.S. national anthem consistently at Pittsburgh Pirate baseball games.
Ooh, that's a tie.
That's a tie there. There's a few more. Obviously, I think the whole growing up and being seen in a different light is a big part of it.
Girl to a woman.
Girl to a woman. And I think the kitty is giving us something different. And I'm kind of sticking with Jackie Evancho. I'm agreeing with the internet.
You know, you can make a 1000% valid case for Jackie Evancho, but this is the hardest costume we have seen on this show yet.
Yeah.
Truly, I am, like, we usually have a pretty decent idea of who's behind the
Right.
mask. I'm so stumped.
I'm
We've made
stumped.
a good case for everyone.
I mean, I really do think, like, if it's between those two, then I would probably go with your guess, with Nicole, just because of the idea of, like, okay, well, who's this person that would be performing on a show like this? That sort of makes sense to me, because they are sort of thinking about, like, show business families, like with, like, Boomer Willis, whether it's, or like a Jackson,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
a LaToya, like that kind of thing of, like, let's do the dynasty.
the famous family, yes.
That's kind of a big part of it, and so it's so tough. I mean, that's why it makes this show so great, is that you just cannot figure it out.
No, they leave us stumped so many
Yes.
weeks after week. You want to talk about the bonus clue?
Yes, this bonus clue might make you think it's Jackie a little bit more. So we saw during the opening group number, a small thing came on screen and said that the kitty is here to seal the deal. Well, could mean a deal in business, could also literally mean seals. Jackie performed for a few different charities at seal events to support ending the annual Canadian seal hunt. Also, she was in a PSA about baby seals who are victims of commercial hunting, and she even made her own video series about supporting the Humane Society to fight against seal hunting.
So
Well,
you're
that's
telling me
great.
it has nothing to do with
Nothing
Seal,
to do
the
with
contestant on
Seal.
season 2 of The Masked Singer?
No.
Okay. As far as that bonus clue, I've got nothing for Nicole, but I do want to talk about the friendship bracelet
Yes.
that the kitty gave to one of the judges. Take a look.
The friend getting my bracelet tonight is Robin.
It says fireworks.
I gave this to you because the first time we met was lit.
So I couldn't find any evidence of like Robin Thicke and Nicole Richie hanging out on the 4th of July. But you talk about family dynasty, LA, people who grew up with famous parents.
Yeah.
Nicole Richie and Robin Thicke do have history. We do have a photo of them together. We do know that they're friends and that they've hung out many times in the past. I figure she gave her bracelet to him because they're pals. They're longtime
Right.
pals.
I mean, and you can't really avoid, like, if you're the generation of show business, like their parents are in, you're going to know each other, and so
You're
there's going
bound
to be
to.
there's going to be some relationship there. So that's great information.
Yes,
Well,
but yours is better.
I will one-up you with Jackie Evancho yet again. We actually have 2 photos here. This is from 2011 at the Grove in Los Angeles. It was their Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Christmas trees, guys, lit.
Lit.
Obviously, there were probably fireworks of some sort, but Jackie and Robin were both there. That is a very young Jackie, but they were both there, and I'm assuming that would have been the first time they met.
That's great. That's great too. So